Radiant team ban.
Is it really for real, Wivrix? Are we sure? We're not quite there, and I'm actually having a little bit of trouble. My draft screen seems bugged or something, so I'm going to jump out and jump right back in. I'll let you take away with the bans.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Bang.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Common.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
All right, I think I'm getting back in here. And sure enough, I am. All right, so, we talked a little bit about these teams before the delays, but let's just, one sentence on each team as we get in here. I think UC Davis Aggies, they are a team that has demonstrated themselves over the years, whereas U of T, they are a team that have demonstrated themselves over the split, definitely over the winter, where I went, I believe, 9-1. Correct me if I'm wrong. 6-1. Okay, I don't know where I got 9-1. I guess I got the 7 and then the 1, and I took 2 from the 6. Math was never my strong suit. But yeah, these are very good teams in the league, and we're looking forward to seeing them play. A lot of reserve time potentially being used here on the second pick for UCDA.
Radiant team pick. Dire team ban.
The sack.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick for them to grab this early. I mean, it pairs really, really well with the Bane.
Radiant team
it's
ban.
just, not a hero that...
Dire team ban.
I'm not used to seeing Leshrac in second pick, but not for a long time anyway.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I just don't remember seeing any changes. I don't remember seeing any changes that seem make or break to me on that hero. That's all. It's let's see, Leshrac. trying to think if I've seen him in any pro play recently, but not really. Like, he didn't really get played at DAC very much. He's one of the least plays here of DAC, I think. So I'm really not sure where this is coming from, other than it's something that this team has been running and they like to run it.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Yeah, so do you think it's going to be a roaming pair, Bane Leshrac, or do you think that
10
that's going to be
seconds
a
remaining.
maybe like a aggressive tri-lane or a carry Leshrac?
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Terrorblade.
10 seconds. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, what's interesting about Leshrac, I'm actually pulling up some data now just to verify my assertions from earlier. He was, in fact, not played very much at DAC. He had 9 plays, although he was banned a little bit more. But what's really, really interesting about this hero is that the win rates in all play brackets are about the same for him, except in the highest play bracket, where it jumps up
Radiant
more
team
than
pick.
4.5%. So it goes from 48% win rate between 4 and 5k MMR to 53% win rate, or just about, at 5k and above. Now that might tell you a little bit
Dire
something about the
team
way
back.
that the hero is being played by high-skilled, pubbers at least, which probably will translate here into the CSL game as well. And I am also starting to see some substantial tower sieging potential, right, coming out here. You have a lot of sustain that
10
comes from
seconds
the
remaining.
Abaddon and the Bane. In addition, you have the Diabolic Edict
5
from
seconds
Leshrac, and of
remaining
course the
back.
Exorcism from Death Prophet, making towers go down pretty quickly. But the counter to that is a lot of push from your opponents as well. UCD, Shadow Shaman, Terrorblade, Beastmaster, they should be able to take a tower just as quickly, if not quicker, and without as much cooldown dependency.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick. Luna.
And then the Luna is just going to be more tower. So everybody's just doubling down into tower, which means that this is either going to be like a 22-minute game or an hour and 22-minute game. There's no in
10 seconds remaining.
what I'm telling you is that every game is going to be
5
delayed.
seconds
Firstly.
remaining.
Secondly, it's going to go to 3. Thirdly, there's going to be pauses mid-game
Choose
for
your
game
hero.
3. And at least one game is going to be thrown hard enough to be an opening pitch at MLB. Those are the requirements. It's actually in my contract.
Bad news, everyone. My microphone was muted that whole time.
Wait, on Twitch your microphone? Because I could.
You could hear me in. Do you have the Twitch open?
No. No, I'm asking, was it Twitch that? Never
Oh,
mind.
yeah,
The point
it's-
is that
it's-
people can hear you now.
They
This is a
can
good
hear
time
me
to
now.
just start the
10
cast.
seconds remaining.
Right
over
on
again.
over. Rewind, everyone. Game
We're gonna
coordinator,
rewind.
Mike's
5
muted,
seconds
all the good stuff. Here's how we feel about the teams. Both of them have a ton of pushing potential. It's going to be a quick game. Actually, Gorgon said that, so you heard that. I don't know. I don't add great insight to a draft. I feel a little weird about this one because I'm just not sure what to say about some of the picks. So you guys didn't miss much. Don't sweat it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what we're waiting on here. Team's just trying to make sure that, oh, everyone's selected. There's I feel like we've been in this screen for longer than 30 seconds. I don't know what's going on with my game. It's being a little buggy.
Mine as well. This happens occasionally. You'll get in that that heroes selected screen there for a little bit of extra time.
Yeah, I stopped casting quite as often. A little bit before they introduced that screen, so I'm used to it being exactly 30 seconds or
Prepare for
whenever everybody
Frozen
selects
entirely.
hero. Right.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Or frozen entirely, yeah. But taking a look at our teams, the way that they're breaking down, this is, of course, going to be support duo Lesh and Bane. Bane is going to solo smoke here. And I guess I will run us through our first side here, and that is going to be...
Toronto.
Oh, actually, Bane is going to run right into Sand King, so that is a giveaway of where they wanted to ward. Now, the question is, did Sand King realize that he did not spend his ward or not? We will see. Anyway, here on Toronto, on the Radiant side, in the off lane, we've got Leap running around on the Abaddon. And then here in the mid lane, it is going to be Weekend calling some of her friends on the Cropulus.
30 seconds. to
God's Gift to Women is bringing Nightmares on the Bane. And then down here in the safe lane, we've got Leshrac doing that electric boogaloo. And that's going to be Dota 2 Trader / Trade It. .gg, and of course IOGG on the Mount of the Luna.
Correct. Now I know that Dota 2 Trader Tradit.gg is innovation. Love saying his name, but if these teams would care to set their names properly, then I could call them properly. So for this game, he will be the Trader. All right, Chocobo is going to be out in the bottom, stealing a bounty rune. He got it.
That's
It's going to be a 3-rune start for the Aggies.
Remember what I was saying earlier about Chocobo. This might have been before we had technical difficulties, so I'll say it again for the stream. But this is a player that this team did make it to the finals last year. They went out, I believe, tied for 3rd and 4th place of the season overall. Did very, very well. Chocobo is one of these support players that really defines the throttle for a team. And he is absolutely a player to watch. Where he goes, there's going to be activity anywhere on the map, pretty much all of it. And you can see he's already trying to get himself in position to make sure that he's able to get out and get something going, presumably at level 3, when that Beastmaster is ready to go.
All right, before these teams start beating each other up too much, on the Dire will be the UC Davis. The Aggies, it's going to be Chocobo on the Sand King. We got Lucky 57 on the Beastmaster here in the offlane. Mid's a little crowded right now with LeBron James on the Juggernaut all by himself, facing off against that God's Gift to Women. Terrorblade will be in the safe lane, played by Zycon, and finally Shadow Shaman is holding him back, or boosting him up on the Shadow Shaman.
All right, and look at the way God's Gift to Women is just trying to sit here and harass out this Juggernaut. That's a really, really good call, because this Juggernaut is already going to be in a position where he has to play melee into range, but Death Prophet does not have an escape. Which means that if this Juggernaut is able to get a little bit of bleeding equilibrium advantage, he should actually have a lot of potential for killing up against a solo Death Prophet. Just a spin, and there's nothing that she can do. But of course, the Juggernaut's not going to be able to take that kind of a risk if the Bane has been around here, especially if things whittled down. However,
he gets found by Chocobo. Chocobo rotates in, spin up. LeBron James finding God's Gift to Women, and that's going to be first blood going the way of the Aggies.
there was no reason for the Bane to be up on his opponent's high ground like that. Obviously, there's no escape down from this hit. Even if you're going to go in and be aggressive, the way that Bane was attacking the Juggernaut under the tower, you need to back up straight back down your lane. It's okay if the Juggernaut is able to come back from one lane before you harass him again. I think that God's Gift to Women wanted to come up behind the Juggernaut and sleep him, but with daytime vision, there's just no way for him to get around this vision area. that the tower is going to be able to see him before he gets within range anyway. And also, he doesn't have night vision, so I actually don't.
Chocobo taking a lot of damage in the bottom. He does pop a salve. Will be able to get just enough HP to survive the second blade. Now, Dota 2 Trader is trying to run away. He gets the split earth, and they get the kill onto the Beastmaster instead. Toronto hitting back hard in the bot lane.
Yeah, the Beastmaster is a hero that kind of needs to level, so although, and very interesting, good teamwork here. Lucky 57. By the way, Lucky 57 also a player who was on this roster last year, so these are probably the two veterans laning together. But yeah, Lucky 57 brought back a salve to make sure Chocobo was able to come into the lane and be aggressive. They seem to be splitting the experience pretty evenly here. Chocobo's a little bit behind because he rotated to that mid lane to get a kill, and now he's actually starting to back off, and I think that that's the right call. This Beastmaster is going to need to get up relatively fast levels in order to be impactful in this laning stage.
LeBron James has had to burn so much regen in this mid lane, but he is out leveling Weekend.
Oh, boy.
And if God's Gift to Women isn't careful, he is going to eat a coming up high level spin. Chocobo's coming in for the rotation. There it is again. Tons of damage into God's Gift to Women. He's not going to take any damage from the Crypt Storm. And there we go. Weekend is now way too far under the tower. Meanwhile, a big skirmish in the top lane is going to leave everyone there dead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were doing there in that mid lane. Again, we had just called out that Vayne had been too aggressive moving in. He went in to try and get the healing ward, and that's fine, I guess. I mean, if you had managed to take it out, that would have been about 40 seconds of advantage against the Juggernaut.
Oh no, Chocobo and Lucky are hunting out, and they find God's Gift to Women. Chocobo's got a haste rune. Now they're forcing a TP in. And Weekend is going to throw some soul siphons out. All right, Innovation is here. They get a burrow strike through. Innovation's going to get a stun onto two. There's the Crypt Swarm. And now Chocobo's running away. His haste runs out. That's going to be it. 2 more kills picked up for U of T.
Okay, well, that's a nice little pickup there. Good rotation here from the Lithrak. I don't know. Once again, that just seems very aggressive to me. I don't know how you feel about that, but... Oh, and we're seeing exactly what I was talking about with that Juggernaut being able to aggressively move up onto the Death Prophet there, if that Death Prophet is left below.
I think LeBron James took a little more than he was bargaining for, or just knew that he was about to go Shrine, so got some extra damage in. Shrine's up, back to full HP, and ready to go to lane.
So, the Bane is now going to rotate down to the bottom lane and try to zone out Lucky. Honestly, some of his dives there, running the Bane in the mid, I think was a good call. Exactly. That were made, I think might have
Bane gets found by Chocobo.
And up top, Icon is going to be dove, and there's no way he gets out of it.
Oh, they do get the shackles under tower. Abaddon takes some damage. He doesn't have enough mana, but a split earth, easy to hit when he's channeling, will stop any pursuit.
And the Shadow Shaman is going to salve up, so he does not have to leave lane. But, yeah, just taking a look at the way that the KD is breaking down, your Juggernaut has 2 kills, your Terrorblade is 1 and 2, your Beastmaster is 1 and 2, so 2 of your 3 cores are negative if you are UCD. Meanwhile, Toronto having a lot of trouble keeping their Bane alive because of the decision making, but everything else is actually breaking their way.
Oh, I missed. It's going to be another aggression on the bottom. Missed it entirely. Yep, Chocobo. As you said, Chocobo is really the throttle controller here. His TPs, his rotations, he's been involved in almost every single kill.
Yeah, he's really good at making sure. I'm not sure if I would qualify it as him knowing where to be in order to participate, or knowing how to make things happen wherever he happens to be. But whatever it is, he is definitely somebody, like, you could probably just camera on Sand King for most and be okay. But not right now, because up top, we are going to have a TP out from Shadow Shaman.
2
TPs in. That's going to be it.
Beastmaster looks like he had his canceled by our friend the Bane. But Chocobo TP top, so they're fine. And this actually should give him a little bit more space for Luna. Luna has been pressured pretty good by Chocobo. Despite that, look at her last hits compared to Terrorblades.
Yeah, Terrorblade's been under a lot of pressure as well. But the pressure that Terrorblade's been under has been a little bit more dangerous because, right, the Abaddon can dive a tower. the Beastmaster can. The Luna also.
Chocobo's coming in the mid. Burrow Strike, it's gonna catch the Death Prophet. LeBron James is there. There's the Omni Slash, and another hit will take him down. Easy peasy. Even Innovation's gonna show up here in the mid, throws a Lightning Storm, but wisely decides to back up.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And down here in the bottom lane, once again, God's Gift to Women getting out pretty far. Primal Roar is going to be ready at the end of the next wave. And if Bane finds himself that deep again, he will probably...
You know Chocobo's gonna be here. Look, he's getting bounty runes, and he's gonna be setting up, waiting for this Beastmaster to hit level 6.
And now here...
They're gonna fight on him. Oh, Burrow Strike onto Luna! Luna in a bad position. She's gotta get out of here. No Eclipse ready. She does have a full wand, but lucky if he gets his level 6 right now, it could be a big problem. Doesn't matter. He's got the axes, and there's the roar onto Bane. Now turning it around. Burrow Strike into him. Bane can't move, and they're gonna blow him up. Oh, he does get a brain set, but it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Once again, the Bane honestly feels like he was leading that charge and Luna was following. I would stop following that Bane right now if I were them. I don't know if he's tilting or if he's just aggressive. I don't know if he's a shot caller or if... I don't know what the communication lines are in this team, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But whatever they are not working. Terrorblade is going to swap health. I'm not sure why here. They shouldn't really get this kill. In fact, they might find their Terrorblade
Out. Oh, in fact they do, and Shadow Shaman gonna go down. While there's aggression in the mid as well, LeBron James, he's gotten his healing ward taken out. They've got another Crypt Swarm. It's not doing that much damage. LeBron James is a fast boy though. He's running away with his phase boots, and they're still trying to chase him down. Meanwhile, in the bottom, it's gonna be another kill on the Luna. LeBron James making his way away, but here's Innovation, ready to fire a lightning strike into him, and still making his way away. One shot, two shot, LeBron James finally going down. At least he made them work for it.
That was a miscommunication between the Lithrak and the Death Prophet. The Lithrak wanted to give Death Prophet the easy kill, but Death Prophet didn't want to waste the mana for Crypt Swarm. By the time that they had gotten on the same page, the angle was wrong for the Crypt Swarm, and Death Prophet just threw it out into nowhere. They very narrowly just gave up a kill trying to prioritize gold allocation. That's never worth it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, immediately upon returning back to lane, Juggernaut is going to be forcing the Death Prophet out. Trying to take control back again. Taking a look at her last hits, denies. Radiant is doing very, very well. They're getting out them very far ahead, and I cannot hear you anymore if you're talking about it.
I am not. Everyone's complaining about the overlay.
I
Because I didn't change it.
Are scanning.
It is just one of those days, my man.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, well, a lot of congregation is happening down here in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Weekend's getting way out of position. It's going to die to an Omni Slash. Top lane, Abaddon is just solo pushing down towers. The Terrorblade cannot stand up to him. Shadow Shaman's going to try to jump out here and get a kill on the...
Here we go. Roar comes out onto Leshrac. They catch him. Oh, so much damage coming out. The Burrow Strike and the Shackles, but they're going to turn around. Fiend's Grip is used onto Beastmaster. Beastmaster's taking a ton of damage. He's going to be the more valuable kill here, and they do pick it up. Chocobo manages to completely juke him as they finally find him. TP's out.
All right, well, that's a pretty good trade if you are Radiant. I mean, you're going to get about probably 400, 500 gold exchange hands from that. You're kind of opening up a little bit of space here for the Death Prophet as well. I don't know, the Death Prophet does, by the way, have Veiled Discord now.
All right. Toronto's getting a little pushy on that tower, so they've got TPs coming back in. The Beastmaster, of course.
I'll take that.
Back to his lane, and now they're pulling Death Prophet over here. He's picking up a bounty. They might be going for their first team push.
And let's see.
Shrek shows in the mid, so they don't know too much is going on. Lucky's going in aggressively. Here comes the Eclipse. It's just going to tear him apart. One more shot will do it. Beastmaster is out of this for now. They're going to clear up the wave and go straight for the tower. Exorcism incoming. And immediately they TP out the Bane as well to make sure that they can't push any of the other lanes, knowing that they won't need him. The wards get laid down, but they don't have anyone really here to stand on them, so immediately cleaned up. The Exorcism continues to put work into the tower. And Fortification gets used. They're not TPing anyone in, so this will be a given up tower. They will take a bit of damage in the process of taking... Oh, Strat getting jumped down in the mid. Abaddon is here as well. His ultimate is churning away, but LeBron James is now going to turn around on him with Chocobo. Chocobo's going to have another Burrow Strike, but it's not going to be needed. Omni Slash goes out right away. Weekend, they claim that bottom tower. And now Weekend is TPing and hoping to get some kills. Veil is out onto Sand King. But Sand King should be able to make his way away. He's got a Burrow Strike into the river, and he is gone.
Meanwhile, though, the Terrorblade is getting some free farm time that he desperately needs. He's very far behind at this point. Not just far behind his opponents who are doing really well, but also kind of far behind where he would expect to be in the back end, right? I mean, Terrorblade is behind Abaddon in terms of net worth. He's only got about 4,500 to his name. 4,100, excuse me. He's actually in the bottom half of heroes as a market carry.
Oh, Roar coming out onto Bane. Immediately, they are coming up in force. Weekend's going to be able to get a Spur Death out and stop the aggression. Biology almost going down to that Crypt Swarm. But they will survive for now. They've got the healing ward up. They should be able to top them off. And are they going to stay in this lane, or they're probably going to look for their next pickoff?
Yeah, they can't afford to lighten up the aggression too much here. They do want to make sure that they're continuing to create that space.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, do you feel that this might be a game that Luna skips Manta? It's very hard to be a Manta Luna against the Terror. Because all he has to do is make that one illusion of you, and it'll tear your own illusions apart.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. There's not really a lot that you need to mantle away from either. It's not like you're silencing anything that the Luna's going to be worried about. I do think that she's going to end up going for a direction. I think that's probably... That's a pretty good call, in that they do have the momentum here, and they want to make sure that they're letting them get to the tower as safely and as they can. Keeping Luna in that back line so that the tank shot from the Abaddon can really be forward-facing.
All right,
That will help them a lot at tier 2.
They're just staring down each other here in the mid. The fight could be starting any moment. Abaddon keeps going in forward with each wave. They get a little bit of damage with their catapult, but it's going to be an Exorcism pop. Weekend is tired of waiting around. She's got the Exorcism rolling up. They drop the wards again, but they've got people around to protect them this time. Can they get too much? Bane is trying to take them out, but taking quite a lot of damage. They don't defend the tower, though. It just gets taken, and they back off with no response. So that's a wasted set of wards.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic game. Not only do they get the tower, they also get the set of wards. They should be able to start moving in and aggressively warding their opponent's jungle here, and I don't think that there's anything that Dire can do. And in fact, look, they are smoked up. Exorcism is ending, and they're letting
for the Terrorblade. They know he's been away. He's been quiet by himself for too long. God's Gift, he's going to catch him with the Nightmare. Here comes the Fiend's Grip, and barely even need it. UT, or University of Toronto, just going to pull him apart.
Didn't even bother with the Veiled Discord, didn't even bother with
They're trying to go on Abaddon. Abaddon's got his ultimate right now. He gets his shield up now. Ultimate gets popped. TP's coming in. Can they turn this around? God's Gift of Women doesn't have Nightmare range on anyone, so they're going to be able to get back. Yep, back with no further casualties. They forced TPs, though. That's good. They didn't let them continue their push maybe to top on a tier 2. Although Toronto does have all their tier 1s claimed at this point.
All right.
Lucky and Chocobo
Oh,
are smoked up and rotating. Ro16 is going to miss onto Luna. They get her roared up, but they should have time to get her out of here. No, she's caught inside the trees, making her way away, and she will get found and downed. Very nice body blocking there.
They still got that kill, despite the fact that they missed the first axes and the first Burrow Strike.
Yeah, it was all about the awkward position that Luna had to take to try and get out. Lucky's chasing down Weekend. Weekend ain't too scared. She's got plenty of soul siphons available, so she drops those. She looks squishy, but is quite tanky. It's quite survivable. LeBron James down, pushing way deep in the bottom.
Yeah, he's gonna TP out, and that's a good call. He did go for a Battle Fury build, so presumably they're looking to draw this game out. And I often disagree with this Battle Fury build on a Juggernaut, but I do think that it's probably the right call here because you're going to need a lot of time before the Cerebro is really ready to get going anyway. He's got his Dragonlance now. Soon he's going to have his Manta, but they're probably going to be down at least 2 tier 2s before.
Get the deny. Oh, Beastmaster was sitting here with an invis, waiting for them to deny the tower, so he can just burst in and try and find someone. He's got vision, but he knows a lot of people are around. What are you doing? Okay. He is fine. Chocobo is going to channel up the epicenter, but he's not in range of anyone. They're still going aggressive with this push, even though they didn't really have a great position for it. You get the Lightning Storm and a Shadow Shaman Nightmare as well. That's going to block the Split Earth, but they will get a return out of it. And now they're ready to push. They should have their Exorcism is absolutely available. They've got everything on the table. They're ready to push again. Maybe even finding Chocobo?
That was a company of errors, right? Jumping out of invisibility in the heart of your opponents with absolutely no cover.
And no one around.
Support. Right. And then the Sand King channels his epicenter to use him on creeps because he misses his blink. And now they've given up Rogue at a point in time when their carry is very close. That was devastating. There is absolutely no doubt this Aegis would not be in Radiant hands if Chocobo and Lucky 57 hadn't screwed up there.
Yeah, so they've got themselves that Aegis. Of course, it is on Luna. Luna is doing pretty fantastic right now, only behind the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is pretty quick to turn on and farm, and even has that Battle Fury. So, but you got to remember with Juggernaut, a lot of that money is tied up. Most of his net worth is tied up in that Battle Fury. So he's not as strong as he looks on the net worth charts.
All right, yeah.
They're gonna find
that Battle
Bane.
Fury is. Oh, are they?
Look how many people are coming around here.
He's got to go.
Bane is a goner. He's getting spun up on. Hex. Here come the axes. Bane is found in his own jungle, but it's a tier 2. Yeah, exactly. They do have their creep wave, so they might be able to get some damage out. Wards are available. Still only level 1 wards. Clean up the creep wave quick. And it's going to be a trade for trade, but Diabolic Edict and Exorcism hasn't even used yet. Oh no, yes it has. So they're up on the high ground now. They don't have wards for this high ground push, but Beastmaster still pushes quite quickly.
This is going to be a trade.
Yeah.
Rax for
Center
Rax.
comes out. Is it even going to be Rax for Rax though? They just took the tier 3.
Well,
They lost their melee racks and got none of the racks out of it yet. Very
That
unfortunate.
was a confusing cancel as well. The Leshrax went to cast. He must not have had enough mana for both Earth Splitter and a TB because he went to cast Earth Splitter, which might have saved his life, but then canceled it at the last second of the animation. Yeah, that ends up being a pretty bad trade here for Radiant, obviously enough. And they do have the Aegis, so they're just going to do it again. Now that their lane equilibrium is more favorable, they're just going to get ready, and they do have Exorcism available for this time around as well. And they know that there's no Serpent Wards for another minute or so.
Yeah, plus if they push like this, there's no further that the Aggies will be able to get into their base with a tier 2 up in the remaining barracks lane and a tier 1 up in the last one.
Yeah. And this is smart as well, Chocobo. You gotta back up,
Dire's
man.
middle tower has fallen.
If they push with the exorcism into the tier 3, then they can probably rotate them to get this top set of racks as well, as long as they win that fight. So they're waiting for creeps right now. Juggernaut's going to
Radiant's
actually
top
split
tower
push
is
around
under
here in the
attack.
top lane, it looks like. LeBron James not quite showing yet. He wants to wait for the exorcism to be popped, and then he wants to do that. So exorcism
He's
is
deeping,
popped.
yeah, he's deeping into the bottom as well. He's coming
Oh.
into the shrine. It's going to be a fight in from the back. Eclipse pumping away. It's going to take down the Shadow Shaman. Now Chocobo, he doesn't have his epicenter for 10 more seconds, but here's LeBron James coming in the back. It's going to be the Omni Slash taking a ton of damage. There we go. They get the roar on the Death Prophet as well. Death Prophet is down. No, she's still alive. Exorcist is pumping away, but she finally goes down. Now Luna is all by herself. She's going to respawn, get swapped immediately.
That
Oh,
combo
and
completely
Bane.
off guard.
What are you? Bane was just defending bottom. I don't know why he choo-choo trained here into the end of the fight just to give up his life.
Sometimes when your friends die, you want to die with them. You know, lose all hope to live. I don't think that anybody expected that Juggernaut to come from behind, and it just goes to show you how important vision around those shrines area. The shrine areas are.
Radiant's
If you are going to be pushing the strategy, there's really no reason not to drop in there. Like a ward right here would have just won. Right, but it also guards those camps. It tells you what the terror plate is. It gives you a lot of information. Very, very valuable. They might have just lost.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got, and for the counter push where they've got people down and have to choose to use buybacks or not, their wards are available. They are able to push them off the high ground. They're going to clean up the wards, but a significant chunk of damage, and Toronto's not going to be able to survive a couple more of those. Oh no, they're pinging out the Luna. Luna could be in some trouble. Here come the axes, but not in range for the roar.
Is under attack.
Yeah, all UC Davis really needs to do here is make sure they don't lose a fight. They don't need to win any more fights. They just need to make sure they don't lose them. With the Battle Fury on the Juggernaut and with Terrorblade being behind the way that he is and still playing catch-up, the longer they drag this game out, the better the chances are. And since they do have a barracks advantage, their lane equilibrium on the bottom is going to repeatedly force their opponents to make hard decisions. And those hard decisions are going to be, do we push again down mid and try to get a barracks and maybe trade our lives for it the way that we just did? Or do we wait to try and fight out in neutral territory? They are going to try and do
Radiant's bottom shroud has
again
fallen.
down middle. If they
Radiant's
are
top
met
tower
with
is under attack.
a fight here, they could realistically find themselves losing the game.
Yeah, TPs are coming back. Beastmaster is through. They just got the Terrorblade here for now. They just want to go onto the barracks. Epicenter's coming up, doing so much damage. Has them caught. They get themselves a roar onto the Luna. Luna is going to be the first one to fall. There we go. Luna's out of the fight. No buyback. 55 seconds. They lose the Lishrak as well. Now LeBron James trying to chase down the survivors. He's got the Omni Slash. Forces her to use the Yules. And now she's caught in the position she doesn't want to be. 1337 is the last one alive. He's going to try and TP out of here. And he's going to make it. Tanky boy. But now UC Davis is going to be in another position. Just head straight down and end this game. Honestly, they're going to be able to force buybacks here. That's another thing.
Well,
It may not be over.
The buyback on the Death Prophet isn't really valuable, right?
That is
She
true.
doesn't have access to them. Luna will be up by the time they're hitting barracks, but will not be up in time to save this tower.
Oh, they get a
Nice.
first strike through onto two. Chocobo knowing exactly where he needs to be. They're spinning up on Bane. Bane's keeping himself alive, especially with the help of the Abaddon, but he will finally go down. Bane buys back immediately. He's got immediate utility in these fights and wants to get back in there. Abaddon's just frontlining, doing everything that they can. They're pouring a ton of damage into LeBron James. LeBron James is getting Fiend's Grip. He's caught on top of the high ground. Now the rest of UC Davis is going to retreat. They have any return kills. Chocobo is going to send his life possibly away in order to make sure that his big bad boys are able to escape the fight. Despite his sacrifice, 1337 is coming up on a Zycon. Zykon's getting slowed up. They've got biology in the front line as well, but the rest of the team, UC Davis wraps back around onto Toronto. Now they're taking a ton of kills, taking lives, but UC Davis, are they petering out? Zykon, lucky they're the last ones up, but it's against only 2 of Toronto's heroes. It's both of the supports. They're absolutely going to be able to chase them down here, taking out the Bane. Now only the Leshrac remains. Buyback from Abaddon. It is going to be a hard defense here. Zykon can push this pretty quickly. And with this Beastmaster buddy, this will go down very quick. 1337 doing everything that he can to keep them off of these barracks. And he's going to clear out the creeps.
And you can actually see the Death Prophet has buyback, but isn't going to spend it until right now because Exorcism is up. Or is he going to spend it at all? Is just going to not? I guess Terrorblade is backing out, Beastmaster backing out. I'm a little surprised they didn't try to force the buyback there. I don't know that Lesh and Abaddon could have forced them out by themselves, but it's possible.
Despite those disastrous fights, 3 in a row, I think, for Toronto, still no additional barracks have been claimed. They did lose the tier 3. They don't have the buffers of the tier 2 and the tier 1 anymore, but they aren't completely out of this, but they can't. This is not sustainable, Gorgon.
Yeah, and once again, the thing is, their whole strategy is throw...
Oh, Lestrac's gonna get caught while he's warding.
That ward, presumably there in case they want to be able to go for Rashawn. Unfortunately, putting that ward down may have cost Rashawn. Eclipse is not available.
Yeah, oh, here we go. The damage is coming out to Luna. Luna's just trying to make her way back. 3-man Burrow Strike into the epicenter. Cleaning up even more of Toronto. And Abaddon, the lone survivor, he's not going to get the TP out. The Centaur Conqueror is going to stop it. And here they go. They've got themselves not an Aegis, but a dead Toronto team. They still have the buyback on Death Prophet, but she just used Exorcism. They even get the Burrow Strike coming in deep. Chocobo once again. Is this guy a Bloodhound or what?
Not only does he blink and get the stun, but then he uses his Force Staff to force the Bane toward his opponent. That was such a good heads-up play. No Exorcism because the Death Prophet used it for the whole of about 4 seconds during that last fight. And now another set of barracks is down. Probably another tier 2 about to drop. Also the Shrine available. And first they're going to move into the Roshan pit and then probably try to cinch the game on.
Yeah, obviously Toronto, they have no way to try and stop this Roshan from happening. All of their waves are pretty pushed in. Top has a ton of range creeps helping out right now. And even, I loved what Juggernaut did, LeBron James leaving his Manta creeps behind as he goes to the Roche pit just to make sure they get a ton of damage on this tower, and they did. They'll be able to push this tower over in no time at all.
This should be pretty much there, however, will be an Exorcism to defend the base as long as somebody can find. Only about 45 seconds left until that Exorcism is available, and the creep wave is just too slow.
Radiant's top shrine has fallen. Radiant's top tower
I'm
has
not
fallen.
entirely sure what you do to win this fight if you are on the Radiant team. For Toronto, they really need... First of all, they need the Burrow Strike to lose, I think. And secondly, they need to make sure that they're eclipsing away from all these terrible solutions.
All right. Here it goes. The final chokehold. They're making sure all the lanes are pushed. Luna was getting sniffed out, and she is wisely back before they can rotate down onto her. UC Davis, what are they waiting for, Gordon?
They don't want to push without buybacks.
They don't want to pull a Toronto?
Yeah, exactly. They don't have any buybacks except the Shadow Shop, so there's just no reason for them to be right now. Particularly at the Exorcism. I don't think they're very likely to lose a fight, even a high ground fight, but you don't want to give any opportunity for your opponents to. Like, they have complete control of the map. Their opponents can't leave their base. There's no reason not to just sit and farm up buybacks and take control. The only thing your opponents could possibly do here is they could try to smoke out and get a pick off. But that's very risky.
There goes Toronto is going to make their final hold. No, they're not. They're just going to push the wave up. And back straight off. Yeah, how long until buybacks are ready, Gorgon? We got, it's mostly money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, a couple of minutes of farming in the jungle.
However long it takes.
There is still an Aegis available on the Juggernaut, so they might just go once he has buyback in 400 gold. They don't want to waste this opportunity for Aegis, I assume. They are actually going to try to slow this.
LeBron, he'll be able to just get up to the top and spin, get some attacks on the tower. Eclipse comes out. Now it looks like Toronto wants to fight it. Here they go, the Exorcism as well. Weekend is just in the side trying to clip as much as she can, while the Terrorblade and LeBron James are up on the high ground trying to crack the damage away. Abaddon ultimate is finally going to come out in the back line. Lucky 57 gets the roar to Luna. Luna gets taken down. Luna does have the buyback, and there she's going to use a Chocobo, another two-man Burrow Strike. They take out the Death Prophet as well. Now Abaddon is fighting up. He's so tanky, but he just doesn't do enough damage to keep his team back in this. Luna taking a little bit of damage. Abaddon's going to go down. No buyback. GG is finally the call from Toronto for game number 1.
This game was really defined by the fact that Juggernaut was able to TP to his shrine and come up behind his opponents on that high ground push. That won them the game in almost every sense.
Everything fell apart at that point.